Good morning, what is up? It is No Help, and welcome back to another video today. So today we're going over the Gridmaster rewards and new player improvements. Gridmaster rewards. What a week it's been. We've been glued to our screens, grinning ear to ear, watching you tackle Gridmaster like it's your new favorite grind. At the moment, it kind of is. The sheer dedication, clever strategies, and moments of brilliant improvisation have been nothing short of perfection. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the Gridmaster Rewards Shop officially opens today. If your memory's a little fuzzy from all your grid grind, fear not. We've got a handy blog that lays out the rewards. Yeah. So yeah, you can get the little top right here. And it looks like it will come, well, I can't show you guys the colors, I guess, but those are the different types of colors of this little medieval outfit. Very cool looking, honestly. This one I really like, the grid swords and emblem. So you'll finally be able to wear swords and shields on your back, and it's not the evolution of combat this time. They will, I don't think, be usable though, but it looks really cool. And then again, you can customize the colors. And the iconic login screen, chapel decoration in your POH, very cool. And a lot of people pointed out that they didn't know that these were like lizards or salamanders or something, right? So shop points changes, so now you may notice a slight difference in cost of these rewards from what we previously advertised on the wiki page. Along the way, we spotted a small mismatch in the cosmetic order of Gridmaster points versus rewards. Previously, completing the full grid challenge could earn up to 20,700 points, but Naveed's shop had everything totaling 22,000. Yikes! Which meant the most hardcore grid busters couldn't even swag every single reward or snag. So we adjusted it, so it looks like the tabards are 750, the swords are 1,100, and the scrolls are 6,000. So with these tweaks, the total cost of everything is now not okay. So I'm assuming that's like every color and stuff like that too, and you can actually comfortably buy everything. So head to Navneet and Varrock Square on any non-Gridmaster world to spend your points and grab your prizes. So Gridmaster bug fixes and tweaks. So we've also made a few adjustments based on your feedback. So unlocking the Grimoire now correctly grants full access to all spellbooks, including Ancient and Lunar, without the need of complete Fort Desert Treasure 1 or Lunar Diplomacy. Fixed a bug where players couldn't claim any already elite diary rewards on Gridmaster worlds without having 91 smithing. Nice to know that that is fixed. The minimum potential perk now applies correctly when throwing Chinchompas, assuring all affected targets receive a 5 or higher. Good for the Inferno, obviously, right? The total recall perk now only updates your saved teleport locations when you manually store a memory rather than being overwritten by other teleport methods. Cool. A confirmation prompt has been added when selecting your 3 skills for Combatant, Craftsman, or Gatherer, letting you review and confirm your choices before locking them in. So this is something really cool, right? So Gridmaster Games, a community twist on the Gridmaster. Can't get enough of Gridmaster, neither can the community. And it's going to be this sort of like hardcore mode. So what is the Gridmaster Games? So Gridmaster Games is a community-created web tool that reimages Gridmaster as a fully randomized playable challenge mode. So each playthrough presents a fresh set of tasks, a new scoring system, and 14 optional bonus objectives to keep things interesting. So here's how it works. Start fresh. You'll need a new account to play. This can be a side hustle account, a Forgotten Ironman, the GIM, or a main account you haven't touched in years. Generate your options on the website. Click New Game to receive 3 random tasks per tier: green easy, orange medium, and red hard. Lock in your choice. You can only choose one of the 3 tasks to commit to. Harder tasks offer more points, but you'll need to balance the challenges against your account's current progress. So complete or skip. So once locked in, you must complete that task before moving on. You can choose to skip, but doing so costs points, so pick carefully. Earn bonus points. So there are 14 additional tasks available for those who want to push for the highest scores and prove their mastery. And then they also have like a thing where you can prove your progress by downloading a .journey file. Okay, so new player improvement. So today's update rolls out the red carpet for new adventurers setting foot in Gielinor for the very first time. We know that the tutorial island holds a special place in everyone's heart, so don't worry, we haven't reinvented it, just given it a loving polish to help new players find their footing. And obviously, yeah, you can check it out. I covered it in the last blog, right? So they're not going to change anything drastic, don't worry. New player experience selection. So right after creating and naming your character, you'll be asked a simple question. How familiar are you with old school RuneScape? This new dedicated interface replaces the old NPC chat box and presents 3 big bold buttons you can't miss. So I'm brand new. This is my first time here. I've played in the past, but not recently, and I'm an experienced player. So once you choose, the game automatically applies the corresponding default settings and toggles so your early experience feels right for your level or familiarity. We've even added progress pipes across the top so you can see how far you are through each step of character creation. Returning players won't see this screen if your account has already been marked as experienced. The game will automatically apply your returning player defaults and skip straight to the Gielinor guide. By making the experience question impossible to miss and presenting it in a clear, intuitive way, we can make sure every single player gets the setup that suits them best right from the start, so your adventure now starts on the right foot. Very nice, even for returning players, right? Because you hop back in, you already have all sort of these default settings, and you know what I mean? And we obviously went over these, but updated the default settings, so things like ground items, blah, 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 right? Auto-equipping things, AFK to 25 minutes. You can kind of, like, read this if you want, but most of these are what, like, people, like that have played a long time use, like hiding roofs on. It's so annoying having those roofs on, especially depending on your computer and stuff like that when you first start out. So default settings changed for players who tell us that they're new to the game, right? And then default settings changed for players who tell us that they're returning to the game. Okay, so yeah, a little bit of different things obviously here, right? But the big ones are all these are just like default settings for all players, you know? So the quest journal, so the heart of old school's adventure has always been the quest journal, and now new players will be introduced to it from their very first clicks. So Tutorial Island is now a fully trackable mini quest complete with quest journal, so that's really cool. You can kind of exactly see step by step, and then it will kind of get you to sort of be able to know what to do with quests in the after you complete it, right? So when you talk to the quest guide during the tutorial, you'll now unlock the Tutorial Island quest in your quest list. From this point, you can open the quest journal at any time to review what you've learned so far or see what comes next. Very useful, especially for new players, right? You can see exactly what you need to do. Quest complete, right? Very nice. Okay, so the quest completes when you cast Wind Strike on the chicken, the most iconic, yeah. And don't worry, your quest capes are safe. Anyone who's already completed Tutorial Island will automatically receive 1 credit and 1 quest point as a reward. Very cool. Okay, yeah, we completed the quest, Tutorial Island. So improved control guide and dialogue boxes. So we're given both the control guide, that handy orange instruction box in the top right, and the dialogue box is a bit of a clean up. So together they now provide a clear, more intuitive learning experience that helps new players focus on what matters most, learning the ropes and enjoying the story. So a smarter control guide. So the control guide has been rebuilt from the ground up to act as your reliable companion throughout Tutorial Island, so no more blah 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 blah. Very nice. As you can see right here, follow the path to find the survival instructor, click on the ground or mini-map to move. If a new player starts and can't figure this out now, then that's crazy, right? It's kind of like a step-by-step thing showing you exactly what to do. You shouldn't need any guides or anything like that, and hopefully some of the players that start old school RuneScape now won't give up on Tutorial Island, and maybe they'll max one day. Streamlined dialogue boxes. So at the same time, every NPC conversation on Tutorial Island has been rewritten to be shorter, clearer, and more characterful. So before, dialogue boxes often tried to do too much, mixing world building, control tips, and instructions into a single wall of text. Now there's a clear divide. Dialogue equals story, control guide equals instruction. You'll notice, yeah, let's see, look at this. Natural phasing across every tutor, improved pacing, removed clutter, and better flow. So NPCs now stick to their roles as teachers and storytellers, while the control guide handles the how-to side. So this means less reading, less repetition, and more enjoyable introduction to Gillinar. Okay, so mod other. We didn't want to change the soul of Tutorial Island, just give it structure. This journal acts as your high-level summary, while dialogue and control guides keeps the hands-on learning fun. Together, these two systems make Tutorial Island cleaner, faster, and more readable without losing any of the classic old-school charm. Returning players will find the tone familiar, yet snappier. New adventurers will simply find it easier than ever to understand what to do next, and hopefully fall in love with Gillinar, just as we all did. So visual highlights and UI cues. So to make Tutorial Island easier to follow, we've also introduced a brand new suite of visual highlights and suitable indicators to help players see exactly what to do next. So these cues appear throughout the tutorial to make it clear which NPCs, objects, or interface buttons are part of your current task. So NPC highlights. Every instructor you need to speak to, from the Gillinar guide to the magic instructor, now receives a soft yellow outline. Okay, you can see it in the picture right here. When it's time to talk to them on the official client, the effects fades once you've spoken to them and then reappears later if you need to return. So, you know, you can't miss it. There's an arrow, he's outlined. So we got objects and transition highlights. So yeah, it looks like here in the inventory, you got this little boxes, right? So objects such as trees, fires, oars, doors, gates, and ladders now glow when they are part of your next tutorial step. Okay, cool. UI highlights. So when you're asked to open a side panel, like your inventory, equipment, or skills tab, those icons now display a yellow pulsing outline. These indicators are designed to be subtle, gentle cues to help first-time players learn the flow of the tutorial. Once you open the correct tab, the highlight disappears. Simple, satisfying, and clear. It's even one of those things, right? When new players, or like returning players like me, start again, it just makes Tutorial Island even easier, you know? Action speed. So we've also made a few subtle but important tweaks to the pacing of early tutorial actions to make everything feel more responsive and rewarding. Okay, so certain core activities like woodcutting and fishing now complete faster on Tutorial Island, helping players maintain focus and quickly understand the rhythm of gathering and skilling. It's nice, but it's one of those things where they get off the tutorial and they're like, why the fuck is this so slow now? You're telling me it takes 300 hours to get 99 fishing? What? So here's a quick breakdown. So woodcutting now takes half the time, so 4 ticks instead of 8. Fishing is slightly faster by 1 tick, making the first catch of a shrimp feel much snappier. Other skills such as mining, cooking, smelting, and smithing, what the hell? Anyways, remain unchanged. So don't worry, these changes only apply on Tutorial Island. The rest of Gillinar is still as grindy as ever. Yeah, don't worry, it is still as grindy as ever. So, hello home teleport. To wrap things up, the wizard at the end of Tutorial Island has learned a new trick, or rather, he's teaching you one. Players are guided to open the spellbook and cast home teleport directly. So the spell's cooldown is temporarily reset for the tutorial, so you can teleport right away and stride into Lumbridge like a true adventurer. That is actually really cool. Rather than just going, yep, you're ready to go, you actually teleport to Lumbridge yourself, and then you learn about the Lumbridge teleport, right? So Ironman players will be promptly guided to the Ironman tutor or node instead, with dramatic highlights updating if you change your mind mid-step. Now you'll leave Tutorial Island knowing not just how to fish and fight, but how to get your way home too. Very, very nice. That's a great improvement. Okay, so poll system improvements. So democracy just got an upgrade. So as of today, the poll system improvements are officially live, giving us more flexible, informative, and fancier ways to hear from you in game. So you could check out, yeah, we did a deep dive on this and everything like that. We went over it, right? So, you know, they are still the 70% pass rate, same everything, same principles, but the system behind them has leveled up big time. Yeah, very, very good. So gradual rollout and live testing. So the launch of any new system can be tricky, especially one where every game world needs to talk to a separate server that manages poll data and web pages. So to make sure everything runs smoothly, we're rolling this one out gradually. That's very nice. Yeah, that's kind of the last thing you want, really, is the game to just, like, crash or, like, whatever, right? Like, they're trying to make this better. We went over this last time, but yeah, there's the new question types, right? So we can now go far beyond the humble tick box. Say hello to new question formats, including multiple choice. Pick a few favorites from the list, ranked list, right? Free text where you can just type whatever you want. Matrix style questions, like rating different aspects of an idea, like from really good to terrible, right? Single choice, the classics yes and no still remain, because sometimes simplicity wins. True. So better poll formatting. So polls can now include text blocks and headers, even direct links to blogs for more context. No more flipping between the game and your browser just to understand what you're voting on, right? Yeah, if you don't know, you gotta open up a browser. Say you have a laptop or only one monitor, it can be kind of annoying, you know what I mean, right? And even just like it takes you away from the game, right? So it's better to have these in-game. Very, very cool. New poll types. So not every poll in old school is a simple should we add this so anymore, and now the game makes that clearer than ever. So we've updated the poll interface so you can easily see what kind of poll you voted in, whether it's a lock-in, Greenlight, or a casual opinion poll. These poll types have been a part of the community process for a while, but until now it wasn't always obvious which was which, right? So yeah, lock-in polls. These are the commitment style votes. If a proposal passes 70% threshold, we'll go ahead and make it unless we hit the unexpected development hurdle, in which case we'll explain why. The green light polls, these are early stage feedback polls that ask whether we should explore an idea farther. If they pass, we'll take the concept back to the design stage and return later with a refined proposal for a proper lock-in vote. So it kind of has to almost go through two votes. People were saying they should have done this with sailing, maybe, right? Some big updates. It's really good to kind of like, you know, first of all, lock it in and then kind of tweak it from there, and then kind of has to pass that 70% again. I'm a huge fan of this. I think it's great for the game overall. And then I guess you can see the different ones in here. There is the green light, the lock-in, right? It also kind of went over who gets to vote, right? So the default poll requirements still apply. You'll need 300 total level and 25 hours of playtime. Now, obviously, this is the reason so people can't mass make accounts, or a bunch of bots can't vote against something they don't want or change. It's a good requirement, right? I honestly think it might even, or it should almost be higher than that, but yeah, you can't leave everyone out. So other changes, the spooky chair can no longer be used to body block NPCs. The spooky chair can now be placed in the POH, like for the pets. That's cool. Is that a new, like, pet that we get? I didn't do the Halloween event yet, so that's interesting. So players can now pierce NPC melee prayers using the Ancient Mace and Dragon Sword specials, or Varex's set effect 1 in 4 chance. Well, yeah, pretty decent updates overall. I honestly was thinking at work last night maybe that they will be talking about sailing because it's almost the end of October now, and they said that sailing was going to be coming this fall, and we haven't heard anything about it really yet, right? We know it's going to be this year, but I want to know the actual date so I can book like a few days off work so I can grind the fuck out of sailing, right? So yeah, I was hoping sailing, something about that would be announced today, but it is what it is. We're gonna just play Gridmaster for the next week or so. I haven't even logged on to my main account or my Ironman in like a week now. I was gonna AFK like Redwoods on it, which is funny because that's what I'm doing right now on Gridmaster, but I've honestly just been having so much fun on Gridmaster, so sorry for the lack of uploads and stuff like that, but yeah, it's just been a blast for me, honestly. I'll show you guys quickly where we are on the grid right now. We still have a lot of the hard tiles left to do, but I spent like all day yesterday trying to do this fucking floor 5, but yeah, we didn't do it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching the video today. If you did watch the whole video, comment grid down in the comments below. Appreciate you as always. I will see you in the next one.